Hello, yet again. Here we have two brand new condensing boilers. One, the Ideal Logic range, and the other one, the new Valent Ecotech. Now, I haven't selected these two boilers for any particular reason. I just happen to have access to two brand new ones that I could use to make a video. However, condensing boilers, generally, I've nicknamed condensing boilers Tiny Tins, and there's a very good reason for that. And that's because of the remarkable similarities between the characteristics of a condensing boiler and the Dickens character. As in, they tend to be very poorly, very sickly, and they are destined to leave this world prematurely. Now, condensing boilers, again, it's only my opinion, but they are over-engineered, over-complicated, overrated, and overpriced. But legislation dictates, or has dictated since 2005, that this is the only type of appliance that we can install as a replacement for existing heating appliances or boilers. So we are stuck with them. However, there are a few critical factors that will determine the longevity and lifespan of your condensing boiler. And probably the most critical factor is the installation process. Now, there's figures bantered around. Whether they're strictly accurate or not, I don't know, but from my own experience, I don't disbelieve them for 1 minute, because I've had to work in the industry that deals with this. But the figures that are banded around are that approximately 80% of breakdown calls within the boiler warranty period are purely down to one source or factor, and that is poor, cheap, shoddy installation practice. So it is critical that when you get your boiler installed, you follow some very, very basic but very important guidelines. Rule number one, preferably find yourself an installer that can speak and read English, because everything that you need to know about saving your lovely £2,000 boiler is in the instructions. And if you simply follow those instructions, you shouldn't have any problems whatsoever. Next one, your system. Now, these boilers are designed to work on beautiful, well-insulated, brand new homes with brand new heating systems, with underfloor and all these fancy controls and economy-saving systems. They're not really designed to be come along and taken out of the box and plugged into a 25-year-old heating system in a 100-year-old house in the East End of London. So therefore, they tend to struggle a bit. And sometimes there can be a few compatibility issues. So, before you fit your boiler onto your old heating system or existing heating system, the next critical factor is water cleanliness. Your heating system and radiators have to be pristinely clean. Now, you're not always going to get it pristinely clean, but you can do your best to make sure it's as clean as possible. This again is the nemesis of all condensing boilers, irrespective of who makes it, where it comes from, how much it costs. If you don't put it onto a clean heating system, I can guarantee you're going to hemorrhage money and invalidate your warranty. So it's a really good idea to make sure that you get a proper installer. You do not pay cheap cash in the hand merchants to whack your boiler in, connect it up and then disappear. Also, you need to make sure that all the necessary paperwork is filled in and sent off, and the registered warranty is delivered to the manufacturer. Because when you ring them up, they won't come. Simple as that. And again, it works out very, very expensive. One last thing, and I'm only going to mention this because it's purely from experience that I've experienced over the last 2 or 3 years, and especially in London. Now, there's an awful lot of building refurbishment going on in and around London, especially the closer you get to the centre, the more work seems to be carried out. Builders will not pay the going rates or decent money to employ proper, qualified, bona fide, registered, licensed heating engineers or boiler installation people. They will go for the cheapest that they can get their hands on. So, when you get your builder in, don't pay him for the boiler until you've had something called a gas safe notification certificate through your postbox. By law, when you fit a new boiler now, incorporated into the building regulations, it's just the same as building an extension on your home, which means you need planning permission. When a new boiler is installed, if you get a registered installer or engineer or whatever, he will have access to a database and a computer system with gas safe online services, where he will notify and certify the installation of your new boiler. Now, he has to be registered and licensed to be able to do so. GasSafe will then notify your local authority. Your local authority will then notify GasSafe that they can issue a notification certificate. This will then be forwarded on to you directly, the consumer or owner, via GasSafe. Now, you might think, well, so what, big deal? Well, you ever tried selling a house that's got an extension without planning permission? Not easy. And that's exactly the situation you could end up in if you put a boiler in and it hasn't been notified or registered with the local planning authority. And then your solicitor will get a letter from your buyer's solicitor saying, can I see the notification certificate? And he will turn and go, what notification certificate? And you can't exchange contracts until that document has been sourced and found and delivered. Now, if you had the boiler fitted 2 years ago by someone who wasn't registered, or a builder and his dodgy plumbers, you're not going to get that certificate, because no one in their right mind, like me, is going to notify someone else's work that I effectively take responsibility for the lifespan of that installation. So you could end up in a right old pickle. So, quick roundup. Condensing boilers. Not exactly the most robust of appliances ever built in the gas industry. Take care when you get it installed. Make sure the heating system's as clean as possible. Oh, and I nearly forgot. Make sure you fit some sort of system filter on it and it's chemically treated, which your licensed registered installer, if he sends the paperwork off, will have to do to get it registered. Last but not least, make sure the people that are installing the boiler are gas safe registered, and B, make sure that you get the necessary planning documentation, i.e. the notification certificate, through the post from GasSafe. If you've had an installation carried out and you don't know if it's been notified or not, very, very easy. You can contact GasSafe, give them a ring on their website address or phone numbers on the website, and if you give them your details and your address and postcode, they will tell you if any notifications have been taken place or have been issued for that property in the last 4 or 5 years. Very, very easy. So there you go. New boilers, condensing boilers. Tiny Tims, look after them, or it's going to work out expensive. There you go. Thanks very much.